was a highwayman. Along the coach roads I did ride.
Country music has never been known for producing supergroups, while rock music fans have been blessed by some awesome supergroups over the years. The Traveling Wilburys, Cream, Crosby, Stills, Young, and Nash. All of these incredible groups came out of the ashes of other famous groups. Heck, even Zeppelin was born out of the ashes of the lesser-known 60s group the Yardbirds. But country music? Not so much. The image of the solo cowboy lifestyle has long been all too pervasive in the genre. That is, until the Highwaymen came along and really changed music forever. So today, let's look at these four incredible superstars: Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, and Kristofferson, each bringing their own unique take on country, and all coming together to concoct a genius fusion of outlaw, country, folk, pop, and anything else that caught their fancy. But behind their hits, there's a lot to this bombastic brotherhood you might not know. Were they really the group of friends they portrayed? Or was this all a record label facade? How much did they live up to their name as a bunch of criminals? And most importantly, where are they now? Today we're looking at stories of heartbreak, law breaking, and violence. But most importantly, what happened to the Highwaymen after the group dissolved in 1995? Before we begin, please hit the thumbs up icon if you don't mind, it really helps. And subscribe to the channel for more episodes like this. Okay, let's get on the road again and find out.
What happened?
Crime. The Highwaymen, of course, got their name from their most famous song, Highwayman.
I was a highwayman. Along the coach roads I did ride.
A tune written by Jimmy Webb about a single soul who passes through the lives of a sailor, a dam builder, a starship pilot, and, of course, a highwayman, which is an old term for a thief who stole from travelers. The name was pretty fitting for this group. Maybe the most salient link between its members was they all dabbled in outlaw country, or they created it. The genre is known for causing trouble, as well as creative freedom outside the shackles of Nashville pop. But how much did these four singers truly embrace the outlaw life? Well, maybe more than you may expect. Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings. Of the four highwaymen, it's debatable who had the biggest image as an outlaw. One might argue in favor of Johnny Cash, whose black wardrobe and tendency to play for prisoners certainly gave him the reputation for being a troublemaker. But believe it or not, although Cash intentionally promoted a romantic outlaw image, he never served a prison sentence. His closest call with the law came a while before the Highwaymen. But while the law breaking might not have been intentional, what followed would help cement Johnny's reputation as an outlaw, for better or worse. Johnny Cash was on what was supposed to be a relaxing fishing trip in Los Padres National Forest in California. But the trip soon proved disastrous after a fire from their campsite quickly spread, burning down thousands upon thousands of trees. Of course, Cash was fined tons of cash for the incident. But Johnny avoided incarceration, and although the man in black was locked up a few times for measly possession charges, his only real time spent in jail was for a much more innocent reason: trespassing after hours in Mississippi late at night on private property. The reason for the trespassing? To pick flowers, of course. Okay, so if the man in black wasn't the true bad boy of the group, who was? Well, I would venture Waylon Jennings, who championed the rise of outlaw country. And even though he never sat behind bars like fellow country star Merle Haggard did, heck, Merle even saw Johnny Cash perform at San Quentin. But no, the Highwaymen graced penalty, but they mostly avoided. The only brush with the law Waylon had was in 1977. This was because the singer's drug reputation had grown to the point that the DEA raided his studio, charging Jennings with conspiracy and possession of cocaine with intent to distribute. Well, Waylon noticed that the search warrant said that he incorrectly owned the studio, which he only rented. So Waylon had enough time to properly dispose of whatever mysterious packets the police were aiming for. Hey kids, it's all in the details. Where are they now? As you may know, two of the most beloved highwaymen, Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings, have passed on to the next life. Johnny Cash died of complications related to diabetes in 2003, not long after the death of his longtime wife and muse, June Carter Cash. And if you're a Johnny Cash fan and you've never seen the Hurt music video, well, do yourself a favor and watch that masterpiece.
I hurt myself today.
Well, Waylon Jennings had passed away the year prior in 2002, also from complications of diabetes. And while these two legends are no longer with us, we are blessed that their music, both solo and with the Highwaymen, is still around for us to enjoy. But what about the two remaining? What has happened in the quarter century after the group broke up? Willie Nelson. Of the four highwaymen and perhaps all country singers, Willie Nelson is known for being the most happy-go-lucky. Hey, no offense to you, the Doobie Brothers, but I don't know of another brother who's known for enjoying a nice doobie as well as Willie. But where is old Shotgun Willie today? And have his legal troubles and health issues finally caught up to him? Willie's family life has never been easy. His first wife sewed him up in bed sheets and beat him with a broomstick. His second left him after finding a bill sent to Willie for a child he had recently had with another woman. But since the end of the Highwaymen in the 90s, Willie's family life has become much more stable, and he's been with his current wife, Annie D'Angelo, for 30 years. The couple have 2 sons together. However, while Willie's domestic life is peaceful, his health situation is not quite so. Nelson's heavy smoking, both marijuana and tobacco, has long troubled his lungs. Even before the Highwaymen, he suffered a collapsed lung in Hawaii. But recently he began to take responsibility for his own health and started smoking smoke-free marijuana. And in the last few years, he's begun undergoing stem cell therapy to regenerate his lungs. Besides that, Willie's gotten really into martial arts. The guy has even developed his own style of Taekwondo. I think it's called High Taekwondo, and I am on the wait list to join. So let's all just hope this Texas toker keeps on kicking long into the 2020s. Kristofferson. Of the 4 highwaymen, Chris is probably the most underappreciated, except by maybe the ladies. Outside the supergroup, he's better known for his acting and his songwriting for other artists than his own underrated career. Even Chris himself reports being in awe of the legendary men he shared a stage with. Chris has claimed that before joining the band, he used to clean the ashtrays of his more famous bandmates. But quite honestly, this group wouldn't be the same without him. So what has happened to Kristofferson? Well, his family life is certainly busy, with his various wives and girlfriends over the years, who include Janis Joplin and Rita Coolidge. Kristofferson has certainly had lots of sons to offer. In 1994, 1 year before the Highwaymen broke up, his 8th child, a son named Blake, was born. But after the group broke up, Chris seems to have taken it a bit more easy. His current wife, Lisa Myers Kristofferson, is still with him today, and Chris and Lisa like to take it easy. Who wouldn't, with homes in Malibu and Maui? But like his former bandmate Willie, Chris has suffered a lot of health troubles too. In fact, his recent troubles have threatened not only his career and his leisure, but his life. In the 2000s, Chris began to experience symptoms of early onset Alzheimer's disease. Symptoms of this awful illness include forgetfulness, mood swings, and poor judgment. Those around him mourned that the famous singer, who had once been a Rhodes Scholar and dreamed of writing a novel, seemed to be slipping through the cracks. But this turned out to be a misdiagnosis. Kris was suffering from Lyme disease, which fortunately is treatable. As for music, Kris has been taking it pretty easy. The last few years, he's made a couple of appearances. He even voiced a character in a video game. But after what he's alleged is his last performance in 2020, Kristofferson seems to be done with music. And if he is, I for one think he has put in his time. Besides touring with the most legendary country supergroup of all time for years, he starred in countless classic movies and certainly touched the lives of the people around him. For now, this American remains. With supergroups comes a lot of potential, but with it a lot of pressure too. When superstars come together, they're often betting some of the most fertile years of their career on collaborations with other people, sometimes sacrificing their own creative freedom in the process, with the hopes that their geniuses will be compatible and create something really special. And that's why country music supergroups are far and few between. What made this supergroup so special and successful? Well, the four had been close personal friends for years before the formation of the group. And they didn't do it to sell records. They started playing together because it was fun. And isn't that the entire essence of country music? All right, enough of me, now it's your turn. I want to know what your favorite song by the Highwaymen is. Who out of the four is your personal favorite solo artist? Get in the comments and tell me all things Highwaymen. And before you go, please hit the thumbs up icon if you don't mind. Subscribe to our channel and come back often so we can keep telling you what happened.
I'll be back again and again and again.